Greetings, brothers and sisters. We're hoping that you're doing fine, and we're also doing fine from this east coast of Africa. Thank you for your continued support. For our brothers and sisters who are buying us coffee, we appreciate you. For super thanks and super chats, thank you so much. So, guys, the last time we talked about the general from the US is when everyone was angry, very angry about him talking some, I can say, not very good things about our captain Ibrahim Traore. And do you remember what he said? That our captain is using, and his government is using Burkina gold to do what? To buy protection for themselves. Mostly, we know this is from Russia and all that. And this week, that is the week of 26th May 2025 up to 29th 2025, there was a conference. And this conference was in Nairobi, Kenya, and the conference was all about the African Chiefs of Defense Forces. So this was African Chief of Defense Forces conference. And you know what? This guy was invited. You wonder how? This guy is not even an African. And even if he has roots in Africa, our motherland, this guy is doing the work for, slave keepers. But, well, he's a house valet, or as they say, and as Malcolm X said, a house servant, a house slave. So he doesn't understand. And a lot of things that happened, we saw the general from Kenya taking pictures and say, the defense forces saying General Hariri with General Langley led the African Chiefs of Defense Forces conference, blah, blah, blah. And he felt very important by the way. That's what happens with mental colonization. You feel very, very nice. But this was not, actually, one of the issues was, why was he in that conference? To do what? I mean, you're not an African. Africans right now, especially the young people, us, we don't even want AFRICOM because it's US AFRICOM, African Command. It's all about safeguarding your interests in Africa, which you are losing by the way, but now you have to safeguard them. And like Captain Thomas Sankara used to say, and this is what Ibrahim Traore keeps on repeating, like he said that imperialist is a very stupid student because he or she uses the same tactics. So they use the same tactics, and people said no because they were trying to use the media and to portray Captain Ibrahim Traore as a dictator, as someone who doesn't care for his people, someone who's taking the resources of his people and using for his own. That's what happened in the times of Gaddafi. But the people are like, no, we know better now. We are not having another Gaddafi. And said, no, it's not happening. So after they have lost actually, because when in Kenya, this guy, it's like he's coming to clean his image in Africa. He's trying to convince Africans there are two things here. We have the legacy, the main legacy media, the TVs, the normal aerial satellite thing, cable TVs, and we have the digital era because nowadays young people don't watch the legacy media, the TVs and all that. Barely do they. And he had to reach everywhere. So when in Kenya, there are two things that this guy did. He went to Citizen TV, one of the most watched television in Kenya, for those who do, because many people don't watch TV nowadays. Then he went to even a local YouTuber, this guy in Citizen TV tried to say, he says this, and let me just put the video.
Rule rather than for public welfare. These remarks sparked widespread, condemnation across the continent. What did you mean by that statement?
Let me speak to Burkina Faso's sovereignty. They maintain their sovereignty. They make the decisions how they use their resources. They make the decisions who their resources go to for military support. That's their sovereign right. But my cautionary tale was just from a military perspective. That was a Senate Armed Services Committee asking me a direct question. Burkina Faso, a lot of great things going on to progress them forward, okay? But then when you look at the military part of it, knowing that that's the epicenter of global terrorism, it was my time to illuminate that this is probably their weakest point, and there needs to be sufficient resources going towards for the whole fight of terrorism in that country.
So in this video, it's like he has gone down, he's fallen to the, you know, to accept what the people are saying. Like, no, Burkina Faso is suffering, they can do what they want. Burkina Faso, okay, we can say we won on that. We won on that because right now, they even sent an assistant deputy secretary of state to Burkina Faso, and who met Ibrahim, John Traore, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Burkina. But we are not sure because they are saying we want to create relations and all that. Well, good for them, but I hope Traore will not be falling for it. So we are seeing them even sending someone to Burkina. We're going to come to that. But now this guy is in Kenya. He came and he went even to a local YouTuber. The problem is, you know, there are people, like we have our own version of Candice Owens. Her name is Lynn Gogi. That this guy could not go there because Lynn Gogi is pro Traore. And I'm sure if this guy tried to go there, he would have lost it. But he went to another local guy who, you know, okay, he has views, but he's not this stoic who will ask the right questions. And even in that interview, this guy would keep on dodging the questions. So guys, Africans have woken up, and we have seen a lot of comments because like for example, our brother Saimakas was saying that General Langley tried to sell to Africans and that AFRICOM is good for us. It's for us. No, it's not. He also tried to say that they are going to help Africa build stability and security because they want Africa to become a global hegemony. Really? I beg. No, we don't know, Chris. So this is what these guys pretend. They pretend that it's about us. They are coming to help us. But in real sense, no, come on. It's not about us. It's about them. And our brother Ali Naka said that the interview backfired. We are the media now. And he does this like, you know, the way the Italian does. Prego. So there's a lot of things that these guys are trying to do. But I can tell you, before he came to Kenya and he was hosted by, you know who, president of Kenya, he had come from Somalia. Because, you know, Africa is also in Somalia. Somalia has been fighting terrorists, the Al-Shabaab, for quite some time. But you know what? Why is this thing? These guys have all the weapons in the world, but just a single entity, a single terrorist group has not ended for all these years, more than 10 years. Tell me, how is this even possible? Because it's not about helping Africa fight insurgents and all that. Like we talk of, or it's like the AES leaders would say, these guys are here, but they don't help us. They don't do anything. It's all about our resources. If it was about them, we wouldn't be having terrorists. But they are part of it, you know? So, man, I don't think this will work for them because young people have woken up. Although in the YouTube, you know, YouTube interview that he went through, you will see the people in the comment section saying, "Wow, Dr. Kingori, if interviewing this guy is big for you, I mean, you are growing fast. And you wonder, how does a local YouTuber get access to this? So there are people, even in, the government of Kenya, who are assisting him, trying to reach those people who can interview this guy and not ruin the image, pass the narrative. And I think he has views. But if it was for Africans, he would have gone to lean. But all in all, we don't want these things. We don't want the African, we don't want foreign military in our soil. There's no sovereignty when you have foreign military in your soil. Guys, let us know what you think in the comment section, especially this thing of trying to sanitize this guy after all he said. This guy, there are questions that sometimes ago he would be asked about how they trained um, Mamadou Bouya of Guinea, and Mamadou Bouya then became the person to lead a coup, which is not like the AES coups. So these things happen. I mean, you're not trained, and there was a time we saw them training some leaders, some military guys from Burkina Faso. So it's not about us. If you see them training, these guys are the ones who will be used later. But guys, brothers and sisters, please wake up and wake up our brothers and sisters who are lost between the worlds. And when I say the worlds, there's a world of the people who are sleeping, and there are people who have woken up. And there are people who are lost in between those worlds. They will be pulled in and say, hey, you're doing great. No, man, you are being used. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comment section. If you like to support us, we have Buy Me a Coffee link in the description and on your screen. And on your screen, we also have super chats, super thanks. We see you in the next video. Bye bye.